Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for watching me today. Today is Tuesday, November 23rd, and I should be going live on my Facebook and YouTube channel at the same time. Sorry for the delay there, and there I am. So today, I don't know why I was thinking about this topic today, this morning, but midlife crisis. Why did I think about this morning? I'm like, why was this in my mind today? I said, well, I'm not going through a midlife crisis that at least I'm aware of, but why I was thinking about that because the holidays are coming up, and I think a lot of times when the holidays come up, you're around more friends, family, loved ones, and talking and seeing what's going on in their lives. And we get to sometimes, if we're lucky, sit down and have a good conversation with someone and find out what's going on in their lives. And sometimes you see people or your close family, friends, people you just never had that time to sit down and really dig into what's going on in their lives that you didn't see on Facebook and find out what good, bad things that are happening, and especially this holiday or the last several holidays with the pandemic and work and so many things in people's lives that are changing. Some for the good, some for the better, some things that are out of their control, some things for their control. So first, I wanted you to think, what are you blessed with? What do you feel that you're blessed and grateful for, and work on that when you feel that you're in a crisis. So crisis, when you hear the word midlife crisis, and that's why I use the word midlife crisis, because when you see that, or it's like a shock, you're like, midlife crisis. I hope that brings more visitors to this video, because I think I have one, or I'm going to have one. I want to know. I know people having midlife crises. I'm interested in kind of like the drama. Maybe Tony's going through a midlife crisis. I want to hear what Tony has to say if he's going through a midlife crisis. So, why I said midlife crisis is that sometimes in our lives, we get to the point in our lives, it could be at a certain age, it could be wherever, and when we think midlife crisis, we think someone's just purposely making a change and have to restructure their life. So crisis, kind of the word crisis, is really restructuring. And the way I view a crisis is sometimes those are self-inflicted crises, and some of those are things out of your control, or a combination of those. But again, it ultimately is in restructuring what your mindset is, what you have to get done, what you restructuring or thinking, how I'm going to be back, feel to be back to being thankful and grateful and happy. That's the ultimate goal I hope everybody has, is that I want to be grateful, I want to be thankful, I want to be happy. And when you have crises that are not of your control, or self-inflicted, or both, combination, is you want to get back to that. Something got you off track. So some people, and then the common thought when you say midlife crisis, people making split knee-jerk reactions of doing things that might not be beneficial to their lives. Quitting their job, leaving their loved ones, their spouse, going into and doing activities and doing things that are ultimately not going to be beneficial for them in the long run, because they're grasping at straws and doing things quickly, making business decisions when you can't. And this brings it's kind of like, I remember, it's been over 9 years now since I had open heart surgery. I did have open heart surgery, for anybody who's out there. I don't want to go into detail about it. I mean, nothing bad, but just had it. But I remember when I had it, when I was leaving the hospital, I was signing these different waiver forms and leaving the hospital. And I don't know if it was on paper, but at least it was the only time I left a doctor's appointment, or obviously the hospital. I haven't had any major surgery in my life. That was it. And they said, don't make any life decisions or business decisions over the next couple days, or while you're on this medication, pain medication and all of that. So they actually instructed me, don't make any major life decisions or business decisions or personal decisions while this is happening. And this brought this up with this topic is too. So when you're going through a crisis, don't make any split decisions, life altering decisions, without taking the time, being thoughtful, being mindful, and figuring out which way you have to go in life. Because sometimes those crises that happen in our lives could be small, could be big. We are emotional and we make those decisions too quickly without knowing the long-term effects, wondering if it's going to make us happier or worse in all aspects, especially in business. And that's what I always talk about agents in this time of year. Example, I'll bring it to the business side of things. This time of year, end of the year, this is the time your board dues are due. I have dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of new agents right out of school. I have agents that just got their license last year in the middle of the pandemic, and I know I'm going to have a handful or more calls at the end of this December, or even middle of December, or definitely right when the board dues are due, and making a decision if they should continue on with real estate, because they have to make a decision, pay their board dues, and it brings that crisis. It could be a small crisis, like the crisis is, I just got through the holidays. I just spent some money of gifts and things, and now I got to pay $600 something to board, and there's a financial crisis. And should I make the decision to just get out of real estate, put it on the side, or go forward? And then I have that discussion with them and try to figure out which way to go. So I was using that example of why I kind of came up, why I wanted to have the topic today, because going through the holiday, and I could go on for hours on this topic of my thoughts and opinions, is that we're going into the holidays. You're going to be talking to people in that. You're going to be realizing things that people have done, and hopefully in a good way, like that made their life better. They personally, health, financially, business, and you're like, I want what they have, or I want this, and then you kind of reflect on your own life and like, should I do that? Should I do this? Should I do that? And then by the next thing you know, you're making a quick decision on that. And not, again, because the crisis that you didn't think you had is coming to light now because you're having conversations and being around people, and it's bringing up that. So that's why sometimes the holidays are very, very sad times for people, because they don't feel happy. They're not grateful. So be, mindful of that and thoughtful of that, is when the friends and the family that you are talking to, they might have a smile on their face, but you don't know what's going on behind them. You don't know what's really deep down in them, and be mindful of that, because sometimes I feel that people really don't feel that they can reach out to the people, and they internalize it. Example, you have a great friend or family that's listening to your story, and if you've been successful in real estate this year and things are going great for you and going great for you, maybe you could do a little mindful thought process and like, maybe I could help someone else. Maybe dig into them. Maybe I'm talking about myself too much, and find out what's going on with them. Maybe they be interested in real estate. Maybe they be interested in the things that I've done, and you might have some experience to help them get out of their crisis or funk, or maybe they'll be interested in hearing your story and actually helping them, not just hear your story, but give them tips on helping them, if that makes sense a little bit there. I kind of got off track there, but so last I'll leave it today. I know I could go on forever about this, is that when you're in a crisis, or the crisis just happens to materialize, like I didn't think I was in crisis, but now seeing what other people are saying and doing, maybe I'm not as happy or as thankful and grateful as I thought. Don't make a knee-jerk reaction. Be mindful, be thoughtful, figure it out. Don't make any, during the holidays, don't make any, just kind of like when I had my surgery, don't make any life-altering decisions between like Thanksgiving and New Year. Like New Year's resolutions, I think should be small and should be built on, not like, hey, I'm going to do this, and it's life-altering with one decision. Obviously, like example, people want to usually get healthier and they want to join a gym and eat healthier. That's a small decision. That's stuff you build on. But making major life decisions like quitting your job or doing something else more serious, again, take the time. Be mindful, thoughtful, and think about these things and have a plan and weigh all the pros and cons to everything you're going to do before you make that midlife crisis decision in your life. So that's it for today. Remember, use me as a resource. Feel free to call, text, email me anytime. I'm happy to set the time aside to help work things through with you and hopefully help you off on the right path or a different path that might get you to where you want to be in life. That's it for today. Have a great Tuesday, and we'll be on tomorrow at noon on Wednesday and then off until next Monday. So that's it. Have a good one. Bye-bye.